Okay, so hello everyone. I hope everyone's doing well today. I was going to show you guys a project that I was doing. I have to excuse the mess. This isn't the main thing. However, I did want to show you this as well. I'm working on a couple other projects. Um, if it's already not noticeable by my account name, I'm pretty big into, well, Nordic culture and the runic language. So one of the things that I actually started doing was this. This is actually for my sister. It's for her birthday. I'm way behind, but she doesn't care because she fell in love with this one the moment she saw it. I actually burned this into the wood by hand. Actually, I made the whole thing by hand. Constructed all of this. I still have a little bit to do on this one because I'm going to go ahead and go around this border that I was burning in, and I'm going to be putting runes going all the way down, just kind of like this right here, but I'm going to be doing that all the way down. So yeah, her name is actually Isa, and so that actually represents ice, and I told her I'm not one of those people that really believes in coincidences. I think everything happens for a reason. Everything is the way the universe wants it to be. So I told her the fact that I ran into this and I was big into this culture. Her name means ice, and it's associated with winter. Also, her birthday is November 30th, on pretty much on your way to winter. So I thought that was pretty cool. She loved it. This one she hasn't seen yet. This is by far my favorite, and that's kind of what this video was going to be about, was this paint right here. I will get to that in a second. The whole purpose of that was I was going to make this black. I was going to paint the eye with the glow-in-the-dark paint and around the letters with the glow-in-the-dark paint, and then I got a sky map of the night she was born, and I was going to put that in here again with the glow-in-the-dark paint. However, I had a better idea. I took a little bit of inspiration from one of those 3D hologram night lights, and I had one of the Millennium Falcon. I realized it was engraved into a Lexan piece of plastic, or maybe a different kind. I guess it all depends on the manufacturer. So this one, what I ended up doing was, so instead of burning it, I wanted to be a little more precise with my letters. Give it more of that runic style. This one came out good, but I wasn't too big into the whole burn, how it came out. She loves it. She wants me to keep it this way, so I will. This one, I like how this came out. So I wanted to give it that burn look. So I engraved it, and then I stained the inside of it with a darker stain, giving it that kind of burnt look. Here, I'm actually putting this into the board, and I found this really nice LED light, which was perfect for what I needed it for, and it wasn't bad. Pretty effective. Here, let me go ahead and there. So I went ahead and actually engraved all of this by hand. I'm not done. I still have to go around some of these letters and finish these off, just hazing it out, and then I got to go through, and as you can see, some of them are not straight, so straighten all those out. This took me forever, doing the constellations, everything. I did that with a pick and X-Acto blade. Actually, I did the whole thing with an X-Acto blade. That's how you could tell the lines are really defined right there. And then I went through with the engraver and did that. So I really like this light. It was perfect for what I needed it for. I got 6.5 foot. I was going to cut it originally just to have this light up, but then I realized because of the way the board is, I like this back here. I can tuck in the light around the border, so whenever she does put it up on the wall, it's going to illuminate behind and around it, and then she'll have that part as well, since I got so much of the LED strip. So I may post a video of this once I'm done, as well as my other projects I have been doing. I actually am planning on opening an online store. I do engrave in metal, wood, pretty much anything. Takes me a minute. Everything is done by hand. So that is what I'm really proud about, is the fact that I do everything by hand. As well as one of my other ones that I've got going on back here. So that is pretty much one of the things I was going to show you guys before I get to the main thing. Also, one of the cool things about this is I'm also making a border around this. Once I put this into the wood, my favorite part is I'm laying another piece of plastic over this. And once I finish that, I'm actually going to, I've got the design already printed out, but what I am going to do is start doing the lines and pretty much giving it that frozen glass effect on the front of it, and then it'd be complete. So I really like this project. I really want to share it with you guys. Once I'm done with it, it's going to look amazing. I do love it. So, onto my actual thing. This paint, I want to tell you right now, if anybody likes that whole little romantic thing, little, I don't know, space effect, I personally love it. I'm a big fan of galaxies, things like that, anything space related. So, I've done this before. We ended up painting over it. I went back, bought some more paint. I honestly recommend, if anybody's going to take their time to do this, Rust-Oleum makes a really good glow-in-the-dark paint. I know it may not be the highest end paint, but for the price, I would say it's a pretty well effective paint to use. No, I'm not endorsed, sponsored, or anything by Rust-Oleum, although that would be pretty cool. I use a lot of their stuff. Big fan of the quality. I even used to use their peel coat for my car. You could paint just about anything on it, peel it off. Their lens tint was amazing, honestly. It was probably one of the best lens tints I've ever used on my taillights. Great stuff. Love the brand. But this, I just ended up going to Home Depot. It's about $8 for 7 ounces. Pretty good price, especially for this project, mainly because I don't use a lot of it. So I still have enough left over to use for other stuff. Now, this is rated for 2 hours, up to 2 hours. And on the back it will say, which this is pretty important, use over a white or light colored surface. That is pretty critical, and I will show you why here in a minute. Also, down here it'll tell you, try to get that focused on there. Glow in the dark is a latex paint that produces a glowing effect for up to 2 hours. The painted finish needs to be charged with natural or artificial light for several hours before glowing. Glow time will vary based on surface and amount of time charged. That is pretty important, mainly because I will show you this. Now, I have tried to use, and the reason I really I love the Rust-Oleum paint is because it's invisible. That's my favorite part about it. You can keep the room looking absolutely normal. I've tried to use another paint. That didn't work out, as you could still see. It was white going over, and it didn't even glow that well. So, waste of time, waste of money. I just went and bought the Rust-Oleum paint for $8. Get a better deal off of it. Now, as you can see here, not fully visible or anything. And what I was going to show you is white, tan, whatever. You get the point. Yeah, it's a darker color. Anyway, so when I turn the light off, and because of my camera not zooming in that well, I kind of have to use a black light. You don't need to use it every time you use this paint, but this is pretty much the effect that you can get out of it. Now, I like this pretty, the effect that I could get out of it. What I did use is a toothpick. Now, what I did is I took one end of the toothpick. So this end, I actually snapped it in half. Got a little bit of sandpaper, sanded this end down, and then I kept the sharp point right here. So pretty much the reason for that is if you want to kind of give it like a 3D effect, you want to have, for example, like right here, you could see the bigger stars, and then I know I put them somewhere barely noticeable on this camera, but right there next to it, try to get to focus, you can see the smaller one. So I did that just to kind of create the foreground and the background. So you have like the closer stars are obviously going to be the bigger ones. The ones further back would be the smaller ones. I really wanted to make it as accurate as I could to the night sky. So there is pretty much some of the effect that I can make. You kind of want to space it out. You don't, the first time I did this, I messed up, kind of clustered a bunch of them together. It really did not look good at all. Unless you're trying to create like the Milky Way galaxy, then go for it. It might work out for you. So you could see the difference between the white and of course the darker color. So the white tends to shine a little bit better. I do like it. Works great on the ceiling, especially on the ceiling actually. Yeah, you can actually see that a lot better. And then you get the wall. Kind of takes a minute, but you can see that as well. Back to the ceiling. I think at this point you kind of notice the difference. Of course, the door, wall, door, other wall. Still noticeable. But I'm just trying to tell you guys that way whenever you do go by it, it's not upsetting. If you have a very dark colored wall and it's not so visible, that's the reason why. Now, I've actually been working on this piece right here. It's not completely done yet. Just kind of doing space clouds, any kind of like nebula, or, you know, trying to work on a supernova. That one's going to take me a minute. The good thing about this is at night, unfortunately right now it's daytime, but at night when you do turn out all the lights and make your room pitch black after charging the lights or the paint, you can't even notice that. No corners, nothing. None of that seems noticeable. It'll actually all kind of blend, and when it does, it really creates a dome effect, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm going to try to see if I could turn this light off and you can kind of see a better example. It's not going to work that well. It doesn't want to focus, but here. So you can kind of see. Sucks. Doesn't want to. I have to get like pretty close to it for you to even kind of notice anything. That's a bummer. I really wish that I could. I really wish my camera actually worked better than this. So that kind of sucks. But I can guarantee you, it does look a lot better in person. You don't have to worry about the stars fading or anything. Now, here I wanted to just kind of show you what I was talking about. I'm not fully done with this. Obviously, there's a big blank space. Although, for anybody who understands certain things about space, I could totally leave it blank and have, like, the Bode's Void. For anybody that gets that. If you haven't heard of it, I would definitely go check it out. It's kind of creepy. But it's just a giant hole in space that nobody can explain. But, let me go ahead and get this board. And now, some of you are probably going to laugh. I actually started doing this around the time when I was doing, I guess, some kind of astrophotography. Mainly the reason is, again, you might laugh, it is pretty comical. I used to be terrified of space. And I did this in order to kind of get over my fear. And people ask me why I was terrified of space. Well, it's the nothingness of it. Not knowing anything about it. It used to creep me out when I was younger, and yeah, I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of space, especially just because it's like a giant area that surrounds us. It's everywhere, and it's pretty much just blank, especially like the Bode's Void, where there's just a giant area in space that was being observed, and they can't explain why nothing exists in that area. But like I said, I started doing some kind of photography. For example, my profile picture on YouTube, it is one of those that I've done. I used to just edit like space, things like that, galaxies, just a whole bunch of things. I do have a Facebook page. I'll have to give you guys the description if you ever want to go check out some of the pictures. I just wanted to share this with you. I know someone wanted to see this for themselves after I left a comment, so if you're watching this, I hope you're enjoying it. I do plan on beginning to make other videos as well. Pretty much just like all of my art projects. I want to share that with people. Once I get my online page going, I would really love for everyone to go check it out. And I am doing pretty much custom work as well. One of the main things that I kind of want to do is, sorry, I'm like trying to get these on there so you guys could check it out. Because everything is done by hand, I also want to make it to where every time I'm working on these projects, I'm recording all of it, and I will send the person a video of how their product was made, and I'm sure they would love that. I know a lot of car manufacturers and stuff like that do that, like Acura does it with the NSX. Everybody that orders one, they get a cool video of their car being built. I would love to do that with this. So yeah, I'm just kind of showing you how I do this with the toothpick. So there it is. I may record another video just because my time's run out on this one. Kind of sucks. I really wish I had my other camera. Sadly, I have to do this on my phone. But hope you guys enjoyed this. And once I finish everything in this room, I will definitely have to post a video for you guys, and you can check out the final product. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. This is my space area. If you guys got any questions, feel free to comment and I will answer. Have a great day, everybody. I hope you're doing well wherever you are and wherever you're watching this. And again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this.